While you're here, Wayne, we must mention the gravel. I mean, you've been a long-serving member,
Yep.
and you know, you've seen the club develop into a real force on recent years, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think the main reason for the gravel to become such an high-profile side across the country now?
I think we've tried to keep a nucleus of players. You know, I know a lot of people come and go, and you know, you get known as journeyman, and you've got to keep team spirit, which you do have to try to do, but you're not going to turn these sort of standard players down, you know, and hopefully they'll come and stay and want to stay. So, but with myself, Brack, the Hailers, and we've got Paul back this year, which is great. Jamie Broadhead, Roy Woolley, you know, we've kept a spine to the team, you know, which and we've just added to it. And this year we've obviously had 5 new bowlers who are all more than capable of playing in the first team, which has been great for us. It's added that bit of competitiveness that we needed. You know, we was just sort of first 12 picked themselves, and we just sort of that was the situation most weeks. But now we've got sort of 3, 4, 5 chomping at the bit, wanting to come into that first team. But pretty much, I think the reason we have been so successful is the togetherness, and you know, and that spine of people that we've been able to keep for many years.
Yeah. And of course you've got Paul Emmons joining this year. You should add a little bite to the team, shouldn't you?
Well, sometimes you need that bit of bite, that bit of character, and Paul will definitely add that. You know, he's already been a great acquisition, and hopefully he'll be there for the long haul as well. So
yeah. He's a guy who's going to add a little bite to your team.
Yeah, without a doubt, yeah.
He's not shy coming forward, is he?
No, not at all.
I mean, you won the Summit League, which mentioned that. You won that the first year. It was obviously something you'll be very proud of.
Yeah, without a doubt.
In 2007, it's got to be one of the highlights, I suppose, of the Greville's history, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's grown from strength to strength, the Summit League, and for us to be the first winners of it, you know, we're very, very proud. And obviously, to then go and win the challenge match against Tongue at Florence. You know, I mean, it was the who's who of bowls for Tongue, and I don't suppose the Tongue lads would have known many of us. I think most people know Brack, and we were really up for it, and it was a great night. Played really well, and you know, it just shows how far the club's come. You know, we were just a run of the mill, obviously a Division 1 side, but to be playing amongst those sort of, you know, like Gary Ellis and Jimmy Darby and players like that, you know, and give them a game, it was great. And obviously see Tongue what they've done now in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just a sign about how far the club's come, really, mate.
Yeah, I mean, we always enjoy it in the Greville. There's always a good atmosphere, always competitive match.
Yeah.
I suppose the only sort of black spot on the club's history was really the tragic accident, wasn't it? Which was touched on earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, the club. I mean, that's been 10 years this year, isn't it?
It's September the 26th,
since it happened.
1999.
I mean, it must have been terrible for everybody concerned at the club at that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and obviously the accident itself was tragic, and the years following was as well, really, because we all had to go through court cases and the likes, because you know the claimants had to get some money, and the court cases were horrendous. You just relived everything, you know, even more graphically. And things happen for a reason, Mel. You know, I mean, I'm a great believer in that, and I've had various counsellors from the accident, from the outs, and they do tell you, you know, you could become a stronger person from it. And I think potentially I probably have become a stronger person in many ways, dealing with the aftermath of the crash and what I've had to do. You know, I mean, every time I see Roy Woolley, and he's, you know, it's sort of, you know, you feel guilt, and obviously what's happened to Paul as well, Paul Stimson. And whilst I was cleared of all, you know, when the case come to court, it was just a massive tyre blowout, and the logistics company that fitted the tyre was at fault. But there's nothing you can be told, you know, no matter if a court of law tells you, the police tell you, or whatever, that doesn't make you have some kind of guilt.
That's what you feel inside, isn't it?
And I will. Unfortunately, I'll have to carry that to my grave. But you know, it's the one good thing that we were spared, that on the day my wife was going to come, who was 8 months pregnant at the time, and the nurses at the hospital said, look, you know what she wouldn't have survived that, or the baby wouldn't have survived. You know, so you'd have to take some kind of positive from it as well. That I was, you know, we were spared, you know, that tragedy as well. So, and we've had another little boy since, and like I say, whilst it's always in my thoughts, never goes away every day. You've got to, you know, for my family, I've got to carry on and be, you know, as much of a dad and a husband as I can be, you know. So it's, you know,
in some kind of way, Wayne, I suppose that tragic event helped bond you all as friends, teammates, and you know, it's probably how you, in some ways, how you're so close as you are. You know, things have a habit of bringing people together, don't they?
And it does refresh you, you know, to know that there's so many nice people out there who really looked out for me. You know, not just club men, not just people from within my county. You know, people from outside the county. You know, every time I see John Crowther, you know, John was obviously involved when he came up to they did a presentation on that, because we won the league, and we obviously never went to Rylands that day. And Warwick Worcester invited John Crowther up, and John presented me with the league trophy, which was great. You know, I think John does so much for the game. I think he's a fantastic man. And every time John sees me now, he always makes a point of coming over. He was at Earlham last week at the finals, and I've got nothing but admiration for the guy. So you know.
Well, you can't see this, but there's messages coming onto screen, Wayne, saying what a top bloke you are, and people are commenting there, and it's good that you can openly speak on the issue. I didn't speak about it for a long time, and then, you know, it was ironically Roy Swan who put it on, started it off about, and I sort of put it on a Saturday night. I was sat there, my wife came in, she'd been at her mum's, I think she was, and I was sat at the computer screen crying my eyes out. She said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I've just done it," and it's probably like Ant's reaction that he's had to his. I just had PM after PM after PM after email, people saying, you know, they didn't realise it was me, they didn't realise that had happened, you know, and this is why the selector. I was asked this year. I was approached by John Reid and Darren Simkin to be a co-opted selector, but more emphasis on a player representative, and that's how I was sold it, and that's what I'd like to be. You know, I want to be the interface between the players and the management committee, because a lot of counties say that there's no communication, whatever. So we're trying to improve that. You know, I know 2 years ago we won the Crossfield Cup, so people say if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I think you can always improve things. You know, and obviously with myself and Ray Broadfield now going onto the committee, look, we've got 2 players who are actively playing, you know, and can be that interface for the team. Yeah. Well, I did see what you put on the internet. In fact, I responded to you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
You know, and I think you just, you know, credit everything you've done and your club, really. You know, and we can only wish you all the best for the future.
Yeah, I mean, this year it's been quite poignant, really, with the Hillsborough. You know, it's 20 years now, and they're still as affected. And I dare say I will still be as affected. I mean, September the 26th every year I make sure I either book it off as holiday, or I just do my own thing and reflect. And
the pain never goes away, does it, Wayne?
No, not at all. No. And certain days it's like it happened yesterday. Yeah. You know, and you like you say, it's something that's happened, and you have to deal with it as best you can.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, and thanks for being so open and honest on everything as well. And to Pete, so we'll just move on with the programme. We'll probably come back to you a little bit later.
No problem.
So that's it. So this is Mel Evans. You're listening to Talking Bowls Radio, sponsored by Thurston's.